Pressurization of the Lands Commission. Commission of Lands, may you perhaps tackle this particular question as you had earlier alluded to it? Commission of Lands.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, honorable members. As I attempted earlier to give a response, we recognize provisions of Article 233 providing for the Commission. However, Chair, as you may be aware, the Commission is not yet in place. On the other hand, we are saying we have challenges in our operations. So this bill is not even an attempt to undo this safeguard the Commission that is stated in the Constitution. What we are saying is, for now, we need these two to help us continue operating smoothly as we save the Zambian people. We are also working towards operationalization of this bill, the Article 233 Commission. However, as we are moving towards establishing the Commission, we still need these two for us to keep serving our people efficiently. Thank you.
Thank you very much. PS and your team. The other stakeholders who appeared here, did they actually emphasize that the powers which will be granted to the Chief Registrar will be way too much? And they did actually indicate that if we leave those powers to the Registrar, Chief Registrar, then definitely it will become too dangerous, especially for even investors. The investors, they did indicate also to say the investor confidence in the country might go down because the financial market might end up collapsing because of the same issue of cancelling title deeds. Now I wanted the Chief Registrar to give a roadmap, because I have seen that people are failing to understand the appealing process. And also in your submission, you have not also stated a temporal relief, because the fear of people is that if a title deed is cancelled and given to another person, that person can easily sell the property within, or that land or property within a month of appealing. So maybe if you could guide, what does it mean that the powers or the rights of individuals who are affected, for instance, to place a caveat, will be withdrawn? So those are the issues that are actually circulating in the public out there. So maybe if you could clarify on that. Honorable Katambo, Honorable Mtachalo, you can also ask a question before you come in, Honorable Mtachalo. The other issue that I want to find out also from the Ministry, there are suggestions, proposals, that instead of giving powers to the Chief Registrar to cancel the title deeds, why don't we come up with a matrosectoral body that will look at these cases and then recommend to the Chief Registrar for possible cancellation? So these are some of the issues that we've been discussing. So I want to find out whether you are open to those suggestions as the Ministry of Lands. Thank you. Honorable Mtachalo.
Thank you, Chair. To me, it's just a short one. P.S. There is this concern that the bill has not provided for compensation. For example, someone appeals to the minister, not satisfied with the decision of the Chief Registrar. So appeals to the minister, and the minister overturns the Chief Registrar's decision. But in the process, this person has incurred the expenses. So there is no that provision. Unlike when this person goes to court, the court will be able to grant damages and the costs. I just wanted to comment on that one.
Yes, you can go ahead and answer those.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Let me directly respond to the question that you also asked, and of course I will ask my colleagues to also help respond. I did mention the chair earlier in my responding to some of the questions, and I also the Commission of Lands did indicate that the spirit with which we have come here is that we are amenable to suggestions that can help further enhance or strengthen this proposed amendment. And I did indicate that we are also aware that some of the witnesses that have become before you, Honorable Chair, Honorable Members of Parliament, have made a number of positive suggestions. So we are indeed amenable to those recommendations or suggestions. You did ask as to whether we'll have time to interact with other stakeholders, given that the bill is before your committee. And we did respond that we know that through your committee you have also been in a position to take note of some of the positive recommendations that have been made by other witnesses, and to those we are certainly amenable with a view of further enhancing this particular bill. That's what I would say, Honorable Chair, to respond to your questions directly. At this point, if you allow me, let me again call upon my colleagues, particularly the Commissioner of Lands and Chief Registrar, to respond to some of those questions that the honorable members have asked through the Chair. Commissioner of Lands.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, members. On the question of the Chief Registrar being granted powers, they will be way too much and dangerous to investors, investor confidence. I will allow the Chief Registrar to take that one.
Thank you, Chair. So on that one, as indicated earlier, it's not like the Chief Registrar will just wake up and start cancelling titles. The bill has provided for grounds under which the titles can be cancelled. So whatever decision the Chief Registrar will be making, they must be aware that the same bill has provided for appeal processes. And if a decision that is made is outside the grounds that have been stated, that is subject to being challenged. So the bill has provided for an appeal to a higher office, the Minister's office, and eventually to the courts. So even as this Chief Registrar is exercising those rights, they must be aware that there are confines within which that must be done, and whatever decision is made, it doesn't end there. It can be challenged. So for me, that is the safeguard that the bill has tried to provide for, that it doesn't end there. And if the grounds are not followed, this will be appealed against, and eventually government will be running in two courts if it's found that the Chief Registrar then is just making decisions that are not within the law. I submit. And then there was another question on the rights of individuals while a decision has been made, maybe in the appeal process. The Act still provides for caveats, so you can still apply for a caveat that you still have an interest and you have appealed. Eventually, if it gets to court, you even get an injunction and an order to come and register on that property that nothing should be done until it's finally settled. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. There was also a question regarding temporary reliefs not provided for and multi-sectoral body to be considered. Honorable Chair, we take note of these points because they are indeed not there in our bill, but just as PS mentioned, these are some of the things we can take on board to ensure that this bill is strengthened, but not to be thrown away, because we really need it and it's necessary for our operation in order to even enhance or increase investor confidence. Because we wouldn't want a situation where investors know that in Zambia titles are not safe. We want a system that is predictable with high integrity, that our titles that will be out there are titles that are genuine titles. Any fraudulently obtained title will not find itself out there to be used. That's the intention of this bill. I submit. Thank you, Chair.
PS, you're concluding. You have a question? Okay.
Thank you so very much, Chair, and thank you, witness, for the elaborate presentation. But I think, I believe we make laws for the citizen of the country, and I believe, witness, you are here serving the same citizens in maybe presenting this same amendment. I have noticed, Chair, that a lot of stakeholders, I think, have been complaining that there was no thorough consultations, and I think they raised a lot of issues before this committee. Now, I was trying to find out or to suggest that is it not good for maybe the ministry to first consult with these stakeholders, so that even as this bill would be brought before this committee, it should have a lot of maybe suggestions which were raised by the stakeholders included, so that even as we present it before the House, I think it should have a lot of necessary inclusions. I submit, Chair. Thank you so very much. So the idea is, can't we hold a bit so that the consultations are done first before it can be brought before Parliament? I submit, Chair.
PS, you can answer that question.
Thank you, Honorable Chair, Honorable Members of Parliament. The Honorable Member of Parliament, Vobu constituency, is suggesting that perhaps we should consider to defer the bill. We want to say, Chair, here that we have appeared before you. We have indicated the reasons as to why we are proposing this particular amendment, and we have also indicated that at this stage we are also aware that even as we have been able to follow the debate and the submissions that have been made before this honorable committee, a number of stakeholders have indeed made positive suggestions with regards to enhancement of the bill, and I think our position is that we are certainly amenable to most of those positive suggestions that have been made, and we also know that this committee certainly in requesting to support this bill, there are certainly positive and strong suggestions that have been made that can still be used to further strengthen the bill. Like we said, this is a bill that is before this Parliament, and I know once the report is made, recommendations will be made, and as a ministry we'll be able to look at the position of the committee. But I think we have taken time to explain, to answer the questions that might have been in the minds of the government to this particular bill. So the rest, we believe, Chair, will be up to this honorable committee with regard to the recommendation that will be made. Importantly, in conclusion, Honorable Chair, we are amenable to those positive suggestions that will be made by different stakeholders, and indeed this honorable committee. Honorable Chair, submit.
Thank you very much, PS and your team. Your concluding remarks?
In concluding, Chair, we just want to sincerely thank you and honorable members of Parliament present here for having given us an opportunity submitted through the proposed amendment. We want to ultimately come up with the Lands and Deeds Registry Act that will certainly enhance efficiency and see to it that the different stakeholders, particularly the people in the margins, in the rural areas who have become victims of fraudsters with regard to land administration, that those are minimized and indeed will protect the interest of different stakeholders, including the investors, including the property owners, including those people in peri-urban areas, rural areas, who should also have access to land and ultimately help us to, Honorable Chair, to efficiently and effectively enhance land management and administration in our country. Once again, Chair, just to sincerely thank you and the honorable members for the opportunity that you have granted us to appear before you. Thank you so much, Chair.
Thank you very much, PS, for your submission. We have actually come to the end of our interaction. At the beginning of our conversation, we had actually given you immunity, Cap 12, so now we want to withdraw that immunity. So thank you for coming, and we hope to see you in our next engagement in future. You're welcome. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Chair, and
It's a lovely afternoon, and once again I'll say thank you very much for still being locked onto Parliament TV, the station that is dedicated to bringing Parliament closer to you. That was a submission from the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, and the Controlling Officer, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry, is the one that made the submission to the Committee on Agriculture, Lands and Natural Resources. Remember, the committee is looking at the Lands and Deeds Registry Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 13 of 2025, and that was what just took place, and we hope that you've enjoyed watching Parliament TV from the time we started airing the deliberations in the committees. So if you just tuned in, just winding down some moments ago, was a submission from the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, a submission that was made to the Committee on Agriculture, Lands and Natural Resources, and the committee is looking at the Lands and Deeds Registry Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 13 of 2025. Parliament TV, the station that is dedicated to bringing Parliament closer to you.